Hello, it's Malcolm here, and in this video I'm going to give a brief report on the course enhancement project for Math1001. Math1001 is a first year service maths course. It's our least sophisticated such course, so it caters for students who need quantitative skills but aren't necessarily going to go on and study any more maths. In its current incarnation, the course is taught in the same way as all of our first year maths courses. It's 6 hours of face-to-face class time each week, and they consist of 4 hours of lectures and 2 hours of whiteboard workshop. The assessment consists of weekly quizzes, a mid-semester exam and a final exam. So across the term they do 16 separate assessment tasks. In terms of student feedback, the course actually tracks quite well with the students, and that is an indication, I believe, that the course meets the expectations that the students have of a mathematics course. So, why do we need a course enhancement project? Well, we have anecdotal and observational evidence that the students are not engaging well with the course, despite the fact that they give it good feedback, and we also believe that the outcomes are somewhat low level. So, in terms of our course enhancement project, initially we were going to just concentrate on delivery and try and incorporate more active learning into the class activities, but we realised that if we were going to engage in such things, that we really needed a broader, more ambitious scope. So any maths course, we believe, should be consistent with the idea and get across the idea that mathematics is purposeful. So we want to get away from the idea of promoting that mathematics is just a collection of disconnected facts and algorithms. We want the knowledge to be powerful, i.e. we want the students to be able to use their maths knowledge outside the maths classroom in contexts that are relevant to them, and we would like all learners to have a productive disposition towards mathematics. And to do that, I think we need to get away from the idea that performance and competition are the key motivators for learning, and that success is measured by fast and accurate calculation. There's much more to mathematics than that. And so we've tried to build a course that is consistent with these philosophies. So what we've done is we've now arranged the course around just 3 modules. So that's a big reduction in the content that we're trying to cover for a start. We've also explicitly done our course learning outcomes, and of particular note here is the second one, where we claim we want to use mathematical software to support mathematical work. And the idea here is that we use calculators now routinely to help us do arithmetic. Well, there's mathematical software that's readily available via apps on your phone or a web browser that allows you to do algebra, calculus and so forth. So in a 21st century maths course, we think that that's an important learning outcome. So we're going to structure our course around these things, and associated with each module we're going to have 3 write-ups, 1 for each module, and we're calling them a write-up because open-ended project, portfolio and so forth, they've got connotations that we don't really want. Write-up doesn't seem to have any sort of connotations. So the way these write-ups are going to work is, for each of the modules we're going to write module level learning outcomes, and they will just be expansions of these 3 here. So for algebra, here are the algebra level learning outcomes, and they're written as questions that the students can ask themselves. Can I do the such and such? And what the assessment is going to be is the students are going to provide evidence that shows how well they can do each of these learning outcomes. So there's going to be a lot of challenges involved in doing this. The first challenge is in terms of how do we structure and scaffold the students actually learning the material and then being able to provide evidence for these things. This will be very hard for them. They're not used to having to do such things. We will have to provide a lot of support and a lot of class time and scaffolding to get them to do that. On the other side of the coin, how do we actually mark these things? How do we give the students feedback? So we have to come up with very clear and explicit marking guidelines, and we'll have to come up with ways of marking these things that are applicable and implementable in a large service course. And that is a non-trivial hurdle that we need to get over. So in this semester, what we are trying to do, or what we're going to do, is we're going to trial something called adaptive comparative judgment software. And we're going to use that in another maths course that already has projects, but we're going to see if we can get this adaptive comparative judgment software to work sufficiently well that we feel we can use it in Math 1001. If we can, then that will be one of our problems solved. So for the rest of this semester, we're trialling that in first semester. Also in first semester, we will write up, or we will get together all of the teaching and learning activities in the class that we will need to get these modules working, and then hopefully we'll be ready for a second semester launch. So that's where we're up to. We've still got plenty of work, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you.